According to JP Morgan, the latest scary headline is something called de-dollarization. According to JP Morgan, de-dollarization is underway as central banks ditch the US dollar and are out aggressively stockpiling gold. As I read this article, something I researched, it does appear that in 2008, foreigners owned about 57% of US treasuries. Today, that percentage is all the way down to 32%. So, a couple of things I take away from this notion. One, this move away from US treasuries by foreigners has been going on for decades. Given the kerfuffle around the tariff and Liberation Day, it likely has accelerated, causing some of our partners to have reallocation percentages. They're not going to zero, but maybe if they used to allocate 70%, maybe now they'll allocate 55 or something of that nature. I do think it is interesting when we think about foreigners selling or reducing their holdings of the US Treasury. If you're like me, the first thing I think is who is going to be the buyer? If we've lost the foreigners, at least some percentage, who is going to be that buyer? Because when you have a lack of demand, it means rates must go up to solve that. And if you watched the conversation yesterday with Dan Bird, I think we have the answer. Something I've talked about on this channel for probably 90 days or so is that stablecoins could prove to be the missing ingredient, the missing buyer of U.S. treasuries. If you're following the Genius Act, which was signed on Friday, it is essentially a framework for stablecoins. This framework, this Genius Act, is likely going to spin up a lot of stablecoins. It wouldn't be unfathomable to see financial institutions like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, etc., and to see other payment systems as well. But the one thing about having additional stablecoins that people miss is they will become large buyers of treasuries. Stablecoin operators are going to want to have an asset that is nearly riskless. And in today's world, that near riskless asset is the U.S. Treasury. So I suspect over the next, couple of years, you are going to see stable coins like the USD, like Tether, like others, become the largest holders in treasuries. Now, what does that mean? Well, if we are right, or if I am right, and stable coins do become the missing ingredient, the missing buyer, a buyer who has a near insatiable appetite for treasuries, it is very likely going to mean that treasury rates go down. If you have lots and lots of demand and not enough supply, you will see rates fall because you don't have to pay as much. So again, one of the things that we must realize is we are having a tectonic shift in payment rails, and stable coins are that magnitude 9, 10, 11 earthquake for payment rails. And I think over the next 2 to 5 years, it is going to become increasingly common for all of us to pay via these stable coins much quicker, much faster resolution, and frankly, cheaper. So cheaper, faster, better. It is really interesting to see how stable coins could really be that answer for the Treasury, answer for the U.S. government, and answer for the Fed by lowering rates. Very interesting. Check out the conversation with Dan Bird. We actually used Chat or Claude or somebody to actually do a live session of learning about a deep dive into stable coins. Hopefully you like that. Well, according to Howard Lutnick, we now know that the August 1st deadline is what they call a hard deadline, meaning that after August 1st, people will start paying the higher tariffs if an agreement doesn't get made. Now, it is obvious that countries will be able to continue to negotiate, But as they negotiate, the higher tariffs will take effect. This is going to be very interesting if the U.S. does this or if we delay again. Does August 1st really become that hard deadline, thus pressuring countries every day to negotiate? Or do we get up to the doorstep and then go, well, just kidding, not August 1st, it's September 15th or some other date in the future? Again, hard deadline on tariffs, according to Howard Lutnick. Read an article about where are retirees fleeing, actually highlighted the top 10 cities. I actually just got the top 5. Probably with no surprise, I probably would have guessed 4 out of these 5. The 5th one I probably would have missed if I'm honest with myself. So we'll just go backwards. We'll go number 5. This is the one I would have missed if I was guessing. Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado has over 2,286 retirees moving out. Next, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is up next. After that, San Diego. Next, Los Angeles. And the number 1 city retirees are fleeing, you probably can guess it, New York City. Yes, folks, New York City is the number 1. We do have some last-minute Fed speak. Folks, if you don't know, the Fed as of today is in what they call a blackout period. You will not see Fed presidents give speeches. They won't give interviews. They won't be on podcasts. They are in a blackout period until the next Fed meeting. So these are the last comments that I noted from Fed presidents. We have Fed President Waller saying the private sector is not doing as well as people think. Waller, I agree with you. I don't think is there. More on that in a minute. Bostic, economic outlook remains uncertain. There's that word again. Rate cuts in the short term are difficult. Again, I think Bostic is saying September. Tariff adjustments could take months. Maybe he's not talking September. Maybe he's talking December. Fed President Daly, holding rates too tight could create labor issues. Again, I do believe, as I've said for a while, and shout out Logan Matashami, who actually has a coffee mug or something that says this, labor over inflation. Again, when push comes to shove, the Fed's going to protect the labor market first. Next, Daly says, I see slower consumer spending. More on that in a minute because I think they are absolutely right. Next may end up with more muted tariff impact than we thought. Again, the boogeyman of tariffs is something the Fed has been calling for, waiting for. Really hasn't shown up in any great order. They are always telling us it's coming, don't worry. Next up, let's go talk about a scary recession warning from Wells Fargo. Folks, if you don't know, obviously, if you watch this channel, you know we are a consumer-based economy. One of the indications, according to Wells Fargo, over the last 60 years, yes, the last 60 years, that has highlighted a incoming or existing recession is spending on what's called discretionary items. And according to Wells Fargo, we just tripped that in the latest GDP report. Scary recession warning as discretion spending on services decline. Discretion spending on services. Think getting your nails done, massages, things that you go out and somebody else is providing a service. Again, it's very interesting to watch. Again, are we in a recession? Are we? As I've said for years, I think we're going to have the first documented rolling recession where different parts of the economy go in and out, but that won't be called for years. If we are truly in a rolling recession and it's near the end in 2025, it probably won't be called until 2027. That is how late and how unusual the economy has been the last 3 years. Redfin put out an interesting article about rents, and rents are falling, collapsing, dropping, whatever you want to call it, in some major cities. Number 3, Las Vegas. Yes, Las Vegas has seen a 4% drop in rent. Not surprised. Las Vegas has the highest unemployment rate in the country, also has the highest growth in active listings. This is the time I want to go in and write stupid, disrespectful offers. So I'm excited by that number. Austin, Texas, next up, 5.7%. And this one surprised me. I would have never guessed this city had the largest drop in rent, according to Redfin, and that is Minneapolis. Minneapolis, Minnesota, came in at negative 5.8, beating Austin, Texas, which frankly would have been my guess. Scott Bessent dropping the hammer on the Fed this morning. Scott Bessent calling for a full and in-depth review of the entire Federal Reserve. Boy, the pressure is building, getting intense. The Fed is taking it from all sides as we speak. Folks, hopefully you are in our school community or will join today. We had a great session with Coach Carson on Friday, which is already in school. We also had the conversation with Bob Langworthy, the accountant to the stars, yesterday. The conversation with Bob Langworthy will not end up on YouTube. It is a private tax conversation where we talk about some very unique situations individuals have. So that will only exist inside school. If you want to see the replay, how to use the one big beautiful bill to save money, how to maybe write off a luxury car, if you want to talk about selling homes, getting gifts. Folks, did you know that you could gift up to $13 million now in your lifetime without any tax consequences? I had no idea it was that high. But yes, we're talking about parents perhaps gifting money for down payments and things of that nature. To that end, we also have a lot of people joining school. Thank you. We had Angel, Jacob, Josh, Jared, and Ian all join in the last 24 hours. We got 5 more amazing folks in the school community. If you are a wealth builder or want to be a wealth builder, we have the #1 school community out there. Again, 7 days of accountability groups, free education, Sunday sessions. This Sunday, I do believe we have Casey from Brick by Brick, if you want, and Christian after that, Christian Osgood. And then we're going to start announcing speakers for our Vegas event. We've got 2 guys lined up that you're going to want to hear from there. So it's 15 million. Oh, Stacy, thank you. It's 15 million, not 13. I was wrong. Yes. I'm going to make sure I give away the last $2 million. I appreciate that, Stacy. Thank you. Oh yeah, we got to call out Chester. We got to call out Chester for not joining. Thanks, Jack. We're going to put that on the screen. I don't know what Chester's waiting for. Mark will actually pay his first month, so we got to get Chester out there. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate that. What else do we got? Oh, Auto Giant Stellantis, for you in North America, think Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, etc. They pre-announced a $2.6 billion loss. That is ouch. We are starting to get earnings other than the big banks. We got Verizon today. Beat top line, beat bottom line, seeing growth in demand for premium services. And lastly, Logan put out some data around listings this week. New listings was 73,000 this week. Last year, this time, they were 69,000. Look, Chester's getting a little upset. I'm sorry, Chester. They made me do it, man. They made me do it. It's funny. We're all good, Chester. Folks, at the end of the day, I hope you have an amazing day. This is the daily financial news, again, where wealth builders come. If you are a landlord, I know insurance is getting expensive. That's why Steadily is the landlord insurance who sponsors the daily financial news. We'll put a link in the description. It doesn't hurt to get a quote, right? You are likely seeing insurance go up 10, 15, 20, 25%. It's always good to have a plan B. Worst case, you find out you have great coverage at a great price. However, many of you have reached out to me saying that Steadily has saved you hundreds, and a few of you have said thousands of dollars. So again, doesn't hurt. 5 minutes, figure out if they can help or not. There will be a link in the description. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Chester, don't worry, buddy. We love you. You're all good. Later.